Hi everyone, I'm your host today, Tom Reber on Industry Champions, and we have a great guest today, Conor Miller, FreightScout. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, I'm still picking up the pieces of our wonderful conversation before the show. Tell us how you kind of got into this new space with FreightScout.
Yeah, so I think in business, the people that end up building the best solutions and providing the best experience for their customers are the people with the lived experiences.
100%.
So, for me, I ran a brokerage for about 12 years, lived through every single problem that you can possibly think of. Every day of my life was Murphy's Law. So I learned the hard way by doing the wrong things over and over again. And over time started to realize that there weren't many people that were willing to go outside of just the box of doing the work on the transaction. There was so much money coming in from other industries and ex-tech people from Google and all these other places and trying to build point solutions that didn't really solve the problem. So, I kind of decided, first I took a step away from the day-to-day business. That was number one. You're never going to be able to build anything super impactful when you're living in the transaction.
Yes.
So took a step away. My wife and I kept having more children, so I wanted to be home. So was home for about a year, and throughout that process, I started to teach myself how to do development work and build software. So that's kind of the culmination of the 12 years of living those issues and then figuring out that nobody else was going to be willing to build the solution, or maybe they couldn't because they didn't have the lived
And it
experience.
doesn't come in a box, by the way.
No.
Yeah, everybody wants to sell you something in a box. Oh, I've got the solution of all solutions, and here's my box. Conor, you've been able to come in, and you heard me say this phrase, or I'll say it again. People, process, technology bring synergy. That goes in this motion. So the technology reduces the friction, increases the velocity of the process, but the magic happens to the people. You have great employees or a couple great employees that are like amazing. They just do the best job. You made a statement earlier that just blew my mind. You're able to clone them by utilizing the technology that you guys have with FreightScout to be able to bring the 100x to the people and take their superpowers and make them even better.
Yeah, the biggest thing is the companies that have come into this space over the last few years that forgot the people were the most important thing.
100%.
At one point, I'll give an example. There's a company called Convoy. The valuation was $900 billion a few years ago. It just sold all of its assets for $16 million.
Hello.
But it's because they forgot that the people were the most important part of the process. So, for us, the goal is never to come into a business and, meet with a CEO whose entire goal is to eliminate their workforce. Actually, we probably wouldn't even take that meeting. The goal for us is to come into a place that has tons of A players that don't have the right tools and give them the tools that provide those superpowers. Because what's going to happen is the business owner that decides to onboard our company is going to make more money. Their reps are going to have more opportunity to make more money, and their whole process is going to be way less stressful, which is something that most freight people, when they think about, it sounds like a pipe dream that could never exist.
100%. And the other things that really sparked me, Conor, was one, you keep your hand on the electric fence. You've lived this, you've done this journey. But you said something else just a minute ago that was an absolute game changer. When somebody in the freight business says, I don't know where the margin is, you're able to increase their margin and take, let's say a profit on a delivery of $1,000 and make it $2,000 and maybe command more based on the efficiencies. That's a game changer.
Yeah, so, I think most of the time, because freight can be a very fast-moving, high-stress business, oftentimes you're in this mindset of revenue cures all sins. So you think about it that way, and in a growing, expanding market, it mostly will, right? But what happens during contraction? Well, then most of those companies end up dying by 1,000 cuts because they didn't realize where the margin was even leaking.
They had no idea where the hole in the boat is, and they didn't have the technology that you guys provide to be able to seal the cracks up.
And even, our learning loop gets better over time to the point where prior to a leak even happening, the leak gets detected and surfaced and escalated to the person it needs to. Or if you actually want to, as the tenant, you can turn on full autonomy once you trust the process enough. So everything is gated to begin with by design because the goal is for us to earn your trust as the customer. And then once we earn that trust, it's up to you whether or not you want to toggle full autonomy.
Conor, what a novel concept that is. I'm going to show you how to do more with what you have, and I'm going to take the friction out of it and increase the velocity as well as capture that data so you don't make the same mistakes twice.
Yeah, well, I mean, most people do, especially if you're not capturing the data and you don't have anybody telling you you made a mistake.
Well, here's the great news. If you can break it, we fix it, make it better. So
Exactly.
you encourage mistakes. You encourage, because the more you turn the crank at the business, the better FreightScout can do for you.
Yeah. Well, the cool part is, too, we learn from every human action as well. So anytime agents take an action, it gets recorded and calibrated for the best success percentage when we're looking at the outcome. But same thing with humans. So we start to understand the human behavior within the platform over time and start to see where the gaps might be or where they're hitting a wall. And we see their use going down on a specific module for whatever reason.
Wow.
And we would prompt them through the platform to give us the feedback because the platform would notice it.
This is so intriguing. Just a final thought. What's your favorite customer? What's a target for you?
Favorite customer?
Yeah, what's a good target for you?
You know what, man? There's a lot of people that would get that question and probably tell you the largest company in America, but I'm sure after this show, some people will go and check out our website.
Sure they will.
And in big, bold blue letters on there, it says, "We love to see the little guy win."
Wow.
I was the little guy.
There's no doubt. But you were able to take the scars and tattoos, the breakage, the trauma, the understanding, the failure. There's a phrase I love. You were told no thousands of times. Okay, what you do, I already know this, but I'm going to give you the answer to the quiz. When you'd write the word no, you naturally took the no word and flipped it upside down, and you would say, "It's on. I'm going to win."
Every time. Or turn it into now and add a W and say, "Now I'm
Get you some of that,
doing
Conor. That's what I'm talking about. So you're an absolute game changer. I'm proud and honor you. You respected your family, honored them, father, husband, matriarch to the family.
Well, I mean, ultimately, man, my priorities are I serve the Lord first,
Yes, sir.
and then my wife, my children, and then everything else.
Wow.
And if I can keep those priorities in check, no matter how difficult things get, everything will be fine.
Well, you know what? You bring a nice sense of common understanding to your business, and I respect and witness that. So I want to thank you for being on the show today, Conor Miller. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, if you'd like to learn a lot more about Conor Miller and FreightScout, go to dailynewsnetwork.com, and thank you for tuning in. Cheers.